At a young age, David Landreth's imagination ran wild from the stories he was told by his great-grandfather. These stories equipped him with determination to begin his search for the infamous World War II airplane.
And then it came to this story of the airplane. Our hayfield at that time, probably a mile long, so they used that as a runway. And my great-grandfather said he would go out in the field and see planes hitched out next to the fence just like horses. And he said this one day they were doing their maneuvers, and I was always under the impression that the plane took off from the field, but it did not. Like we found out, it came from Chattanooga, and it was doing its maneuver and went straight into the ground and exploded, and that's pretty much the story.
David's grandfather explained where the plane crashed, but gave a vague description on the particular location. When working on a fence one day with his friend Charles, he was asked where the World War II plane crashed. David stated,
And I said, yes, I do. Do you know where it is? I said, I know about where it is. And I got within 150 yards. Keith and Charles went out with a metal detector, started digging. About 3 days later, they say, hey, we found it. Charles called me at home one night, and he said, we found it. So I threw my shoes on, got in the truck, took off over the hill. Sure enough, they were finding fragments of small pieces, anything from so big to a chunk so big, and we've got the propeller. And Keith has identified several pieces, and that's pretty much it.
They thought I fell in the hole or hurt myself or something, and that's David saw some lights from vehicles going back on his property a lot later than usual, so he went out there, and there I was in the hole, and I was about to drop because I was literally so physically exhausted from chipping all that hard ground and stuff. And but once I figured that it was pretty much intact, I committed, and I stayed until I pulled it out.
the men have decided to donate some of these artifacts to the Smith County Heritage Museum. Locals will have the opportunity to view this history as well.
I read an article on Facebook this afternoon that our local guy put on there. People that still live in the area, oh, I remember this, and the comments they've made, and my grandfather remembered. There's several people that remember it. I guess it just takes something like this to jog memories.
It is safe to say that patience, inspiration, and determination can take you far on your journey to discovery. Kiana Freeman, NTTV News.